Joe, over here. Said, obviously, the last time we got to speak to you in person like this was in Mexico. It's not oftentimes when a fight falls out that close to fight, the UFC will rebook it on, maybe even a bigger card. So I guess, just how's life been since that when you had to pull out to now and you get to rebook with Kelvin on a probably bigger card?
I'm grateful for the opportunity. I think it's getting the justice it deserves, especially the type of fighters that me and KG are. So I'm excited, man. I'm just thankful that he took the fight, and we have unfinished business. And it was a very unfortunate series of events that happened out in Mexico. There's a first time for everything, and that's the first time I've ever not been able to make a fight and was that unhealthy that fast. And it just sucks, man. It sucks. It sucks just because all the time that went into it, the money. But at the end of the day, that's yesterday, and I'm in the present moment now, and we get to run it back, and I'm grateful for that.
Given the fact that you did put a whole fight camp for Kelvin, you cut the weight, you made the weight, and then you have to just redo it all again for the same guy, has it just felt like one long fight camp at this point?
Absolutely. It was back-to-back camps, so it definitely feels long. But, ultimately this is my job, and the only bad part about this, because otherwise I would be in the gym trying to get better anyways, is just that, I got a weight cut back-to-back. But I think I'm on top of it very well. I've always been a professional and made weight, and I'm excited to step in there Saturday.
In terms of game planning for Kelvin, I assume you had him scouted out pretty well the first time, and then so what do you do in this second fight camp, essentially? Like, do you go back to the drawing board, or you just kind of stay healthy and just recut the weight and just kind of pick up the blueprint, run forward?
Yeah, I think we have the blueprint, and I think there's a lot of video out there on him to be able to study, obviously, which we've done. So I think it's just a continuation of the game plan while trying to fine-tune it even better, and just give me more time to prepare and just be ready for any situation times two. But, yeah, we're more than prepared for anywhere this fight goes.
And then last one for me, going off of that, a lot of fans, they'll give you flack for this, but Kelvin hasn't said anything. Like, he hasn't said anything negative. You haven't said anything negative about him. So I guess just how much appreciation, not just for taking the fight, but if anyone should probably be annoyed, it would be Kelvin, and he hasn't said anything negative about you.
I wouldn't expect him to say anything negative because, he's missed weight before, right? How many times? And that's not, taking a dig at him, but things happen. And I respect him because he has fought everybody. He's a tested guy. He's been here for a long time, so it would be wrong of me to come up here and disrespect him. Now, do I think I'm going to beat his ass? I do. That's my competitive nature. That's why we're fighting, and we get to find out Saturday. But, yeah, I would say I don't appreciate it, but I respect it. Because if he was upset and he had something to say, I can understand that. But as far as everybody else, running their mouth, they can shut the fuck up. Like, they're not the ones cutting weight. They're not the ones spending money. They're not the ones in a training camp. They're not the ones that, had to go through what I did. And I'm just grateful that he wanted to fight still. And we got it rebooked. Like I said, when you face off and you make weight and you don't get to do the dance, I think it's unfinished business. So I'm glad he's my opponent again, and I'm really grateful and happy that we get to run it back.
Joe over here. We've seen throughout his career some ups and downs from Kelvin. You mentioned like his weight issues. So I feel like we sometimes see different kind of versions of him when he's out there. I guess, what are you kind of expecting to see when you guys get in there? What version of Kelvin Gastelum are you hoping for?
I've trained for the Kelvin that fought Izzy, the guy that's going to be in your face, the guy that's got the cardio to go hard 15 minutes. And, so I'm training for the best version of Kelvin. I also thought, in my personal opinion, that KG has done his better work at 85. He's not going to be as sucked out as 70, obviously, but I still think that there's a huge power difference between us. I think there's a big skill difference between us. As far as me being more complete, I think a lot of people go off my Jack Hermanson fight, which is fine, but that was my first big show, my first big test. Walked into it not 100%, had some things going on, and it wasn't my best performance, but I didn't get rocked, I didn't get dropped, I didn't get submitted, I didn't get fraud checked. So let's redefine what fraud checked is. If anybody got fraud checked, we could say it's Bo Nickel. He got finished on his first loss. I lost a split basically a split decision, 3 rounds to 1 or to 2. So it is what it is, man. Yeah, but I'm prepared for KG of old.
Yeah, and he's never been finished with strikes. I know you mentioned your power. When you're game planning for him, how much does that play into your psyche going in? Do you want to be the first guy to finish him, or do you have to adjust, like, this guy's probably going to take some of my better shots?
No, I mean, listen, I know I can finish him. There's no question. If my power touches his chin, I can fold anybody in this division. That's a fact. So that's just what I believe, and again, I believe it's a fact. Like, you can't take the kind of shots, especially if I'm sitting on my shots. I'm going to hurt you, and at the very least hurt you, and then it'll lead to a finish. But I mean, ultimately, my job is to go out there and win. I would love to get a finish over KG, but like I said, I'm prepared for 15 minutes. That's what I put in my mind. But make no mistake, I will be trying to cause damage, and I will be trying to get him out of there. And just because he hasn't been finished by TKO or KO in the cage doesn't mean it can't happen. So same thing goes for me, obviously. There's a first time for everything, but I'm really confident in my skills and my preparation, and I think I'll be able to get him out of there some way, one way or another.
Hi. You've talked obviously about your wrestling coach, Will Harmon, in the past. Given the proximity to media, will he be there on Saturday? Will you have any other friends or?
Yeah, I have a lot of people here. I haven't offered him to come yet, just because of trying to figure out everything with tickets and whatnot. He's got 3 babies, and he's got a special needs daughter, so she requires a lot of his time. It's hard for him to get away. But yeah, I mean, he texts me, we talk all the time, and he's always going to be somebody very special in my life. He's the guy that gave me the opportunity to pursue this career and be where I am now. So without him, none of this is possible, to be honest.
Has he seen you fight professionally in person before?
Yes.
Which fights?
That's a good question. He's been to a lot.
Okay.
He's been to probably all of my early pro fights. He was in my Miami fight. I think he's only been to 1 or 2 of my UFC fights, just because of travel. He's a full-time teacher, a full-time dad.
Do you ever go back to Pencrest and try and?
Yeah, sometimes I'll go back for the pep rallies and just get the kids hyped up. So I try to show face. It's been a little harder because I've had back-to-back camps, so I haven't seen them as much this time. But yeah, I always try to go back and talk to the kids or just get them hyped up, and I don't forget where I came from. So the Pencrest Wrestling Room was special. Not just because of the program, but just because of the coaches and the lifelong friendships I built there.
Thank you.
Joe, right back here. Your team at Marquez MMA is already in conversation to be the team of the year this year. What has this momentum been like for you, and what's it like being surrounded by those guys day in and day out?
It's great, man. It just shows that we work hard and what we do works, obviously. And I don't really look too much into that. You know what I mean? We're all just equal people training and trying to pursue this dream the best we can. And, we don't really worry about if we win the award or anything like that. We just try to focus on individual fights, individual performances, and obviously the team success is huge. The momentum definitely helps. Everybody's happy, everybody's coming in and training harder, and you see guys that win on a Saturday and they're in there training on a Monday, Tuesday, like Nursultan. So yeah, it's definitely a good feeling to have the team winning versus obviously having to pick up your teammates when they lose.
And you recently partnered up with the brand Out Pouch.
Yeah.
They partner up with military dogs after they complete their service, which I think is super cool and right up your alley, right? What's it like being a representative of them within the professional realm of MMA?
I love that you brought that up. That's a great question because I just did, a deal with them, and I'm a big fan of Tucker Carlson and watching all of his interviews and just his outtake on things. And I'm just happy to support a brand that, actually stands for something positive and, they're impacting the world. And I think Tucker's doing a great job of that. And I'm very happy to be able to rep them on my back. And I hope that I can become, the first branded athlete for them at this level in the UFC. So shout out to Alp and Tucker Carlson. Let's get this dude's ass whooped on Saturday.
And last for me, you recently appeared in a documentary on Roku. What was that whole experience like for you? And are you glad that fans have the opportunity to kind of see your preparation from a behind-the-scenes angle?
Yeah, so the documentary is free on Roku. It's out finally after 2 years. We had a lot of things that we had to get through with licensing and who was paying what. And it was a little bit of a mess, but it's out. And I think the biggest thing with that is it doesn't show you obviously the preparation per camp, but it shows you my lifelong dedication to the sport, my commitment, and it goes beyond these interviews of ego questions, you know what I mean, where it's like, oh, you think you're the best, you think you do this, who you want to fight next. You know, it actually shows you the person that I am and what I've endured to get here. And I think it's very inspiring for kids that have had abusive homes or have had a rough childhood. And, you know, there's always somebody who has it worse. But I think a very big positive impact of my documentary is to inspire kids to stay in sports, stay in athletics, and, you know, whatever that unspoken gut feeling is that you don't know how to bring to words, figure out what it means, whether it means you want to be a top tier, you know, engineer or a scientist or a UFC fighter, go and pursue it no matter how anybody feels about it. If that's what you want to wake up and do at any time of the day to get better at, then go pursue it. So I think it's just an impactful story to show resilience and how to stay in sports and be a positive impact in the world.
Joe, right here. So after the pullout from in Mexico, you got a lot of hate in your comments and everything. Does that light a fire under you a little bit, or do you find it amusing?
They can still suck my dick. Honestly, that's how I feel. It was not a race statement, which everybody tried to turn it into. Like, I don't like Mexicans and all this shit. I don't like their food. I don't like the fucking country. That's how I feel. I don't think as a professional athlete fighting somewhere with that kind of elevation or that kind of air quality and the risk, let alone just of the food, like the air quality and the elevation wasn't even hard for me to adjust to. I got there early. I slept in a hyperbaric chamber. I was adjusted. I was making runs. I felt great. It's just 14 out of the 15 meals I cooked, I didn't cook on the last day, and I got super sick, and I was sick for weeks. So, yeah, I got a lot of hate because, you know, I'm sitting there borderline crying, upset, and gutted that I didn't get to perform. I make the weight. I felt great, and then all of a sudden I get hit with this vicious fucking shit, vomit, throw up. Like, it just, like, the sweats. I lost 14 pounds in 7 hours, and I slept 1 hour. I was literally close to making weight again when I woke up. I was 193 pounds. I'm a dude that walks around at 220. Like, it wasn't feasible. And I've never had to pull out of a fight, so it was very disheartening to see people be like, oh, we hope the cartel kills you. We hope your plane crashes. Oh, you're a pussy. We hope you die from whatever. So it's like, all right, suck my dick. That's how I felt. And that's why I said Mexico's a shithole, and I'll never go back. I won't fight there. But the people were nice. I have no problem with the people. It's just fighting there as a professional athlete makes no fucking sense to me. That's just my personal opinion. So everybody claims they love free speech until it's spoken, and then they try to censor you, or they try to say you're a racist, or they try to say that you hate people. It's like, whatever. Think what the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you told Kelvin you almost got robbed there. I mean, it definitely wasn't a good experience.
My coaches and my teammate got fucking stopped by the police because they were trying to shake them down for cash that they didn't have. Like, come on, dude.
Crazy.
Like, if we got to talk about fucking why anybody would dispute that it's not the best country, all we have to do is look at how many people have crossed the border and who knows how many fucking years. Like, come on, man. Don't act like it's such a great place. It's ran by gangs and fucking law enforcement's paid off by gangs. It's not that great of a place. Stop fucking coming at my neck. You know, they got 2 hands on my dick at all times. It's fucking frustrating.
Joe, right over here.
1 second. On a lighter topic, actually, I just wanted to ask, this will be your first fight with your black belt. How much can we expect to see you show off that black belt in this fight?
Well, I think Kelvin, just my opinion, I think Kelvin's afraid of my power early, so I wouldn't be surprised if he wrestles to try and tire me out type deal. So we're more than prepared, brother. I think I have very underrated grappling, very underrated wrestling, and I think the only negative people can go off of with my game in that regard is just the 5th round against Jack, because I was fucking exhausted in a 5-round fight, my first 5-round fight. So I'll be good, brother. But yeah, hopefully if he gives me an option to grapple fuck him and take him down and beat his ass, then I'll do it.
Over here, Joe, one of the biggest comebacks in the sports is your hairline. Do a lot of fighters ask you about it because it turned out really well?
I don't know if that's an insult or not.
No, that was a compliment.
I'm going to remember your motherfucking face now. No, that's it. You're right. It is one of the greatest comebacks, man. This shit is fucking flowing. It's a little thin. I probably should get it a little thicker, but yeah, it looks good. It looks good. And I'm not somebody that really cares. And even though everybody's like, well, you went to Turkey. It was offered. Me and my coach went. We got it. And it was a great experience afterwards. But yeah, fucking look at this shit, dude. I'm still ugly as fuck, but not as ugly.
Best of luck on Saturday.
No luck.